Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa Iafola, the UC Press Author Marketing Communications Manager, and I'm here today with Emily Grandstaff, our Associate Director of Publicity. And Emily's going to talk a little bit about what exactly is publicity, what's the role of a book publicist in general, and how you, as a book author, what you can do to really support publicity efforts. So with that, I will hand it off to Emily.
Thank you, Teresa. I'm delighted to be here and share with you the joys and challenges of working in publicity at an amazing university press like UC Press. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, and although the media landscape has changed substantially, the basic fundamentals, including communication, collaboration, and focus on establishing relationships between authors, publicists, and media, have really all remained very much the same. So let's talk about publicity and what you can do to prepare yourself to launch a book with UC Press. So I thought I'd start just with an overview of what is publicity. Authors often get confused as to the breakdown between publicity and marketing, which is totally understandable. In a gist, publicity focuses on earned media, or all those unpaid things, which are things like reviews, op-eds, interviews, mentions, and social shares. This is in contrast to marketing, which manages more paid promotions like advertising, email lists, and print collateral. So think about flyers or postcards or things you might hand out at events. Or own promotions, which is anything owned by UC Press. So think about like our blog or website, etc. As publicists, given we're focused on earned media, we're primarily concerned with relationships first and foremost, research and collaboration. So with authors like yourselves and with media. Key campaign ingredients for us include an author's platform, the news cycle of that day, that week, or even that year, and the unique value of a book. So what makes this author and this book special? On a day-to-day basis, we're going after media across 3 platforms. So this is print, digital, and broadcast for both our scholarly and our trade authors. Print includes newspapers, magazines, and academic journals, which, as you'll probably already know, sometimes take an infuriatingly long time to review anything. Digital, as you'll know, includes websites and blogs, much faster to review things. And broadcast includes TV, national and regional radio, and ever more popular these days for all of our authors, scholarly and trade, are the hundreds and thousands of podcasts that exist out there. Due to the rapidly changing media landscape, we rely more and more heavily on the author's platform to help publicize a book. So really on your expertise. This includes being active on social media. So Twitter, although kind of a mess these days, we hope will even out soon, Facebook and Instagram, being cited in the media, writing for major or academic outlets, being or becoming known as a leading expert in your field. If you have a previous book, how did it do and where was it covered? Do you have a strong public network, or how can you go about building one, which is what we're talking about a little and what we'll talk about a little bit more. Are you willing to be an active and hopefully cooperative partner? Always important. And we also look to the news cycle to promote all of our books. So what is trending? Who's talking about this topic? Who should be talking about it? And that's where our pitches as publicists come in. And then we try to highlight what's unique, again, about this book and the author. What are they adding to the conversation that's new and noteworthy? What's been overlooked in the conversation that the author and the book offers? Is the central topic broad or is it niche? What's new about this? And for our own pitches, we really try to get to know journalists and reviewers and what they're covering. So we really try to respect their time. We try not to pitch off topic, meaning we spend a lot of our day researching what media and journalists are covering. We try to offer bullet points, which is something you can think about too, to highlight what's new and noteworthy about a book, to synthesize the book's argument so a journalist can really get to the crux of what a book is covering quickly. We also lead with an author's credentials, or for new authors, we highlight what they're adding to the conversation that's new and exciting. In sum, we really try to build trust so that media know they can come to us at UC Press when they're looking for experts. So that was a pretty general overview, and now your book is coming out with UC Press. You might wonder what happens next. For trade books, this might start a little earlier, say 4 to 6 months out, but for scholarly books, this generally happens right around the time of publication. So we start with your what we call an APQ, which is an author questionnaire. And we look to your suggestions there for media outlets. And then we also use our own publicity database and contacts, and we develop a targeted, what we call review list for your book. And what we do is submit either digital or physical review copies and pitches to the appropriate media and review outlets. So we are pitching academic journals and relevant general audience media, depending on the type of book. We also work with authors on op-eds to help bolster your media profile. We will look to you to talk about events. Although the official book tour can be kind of considered a thing of the past, we will certainly help amplify any events you set up, and we can talk more about that. We communicate with you about what media are telling us. We will send you reviews as they come in, also feedback that we're getting from media. And we talk with our marketing department and sales team about what placements we're getting to help them push more books out into the world. So internally, we're always communicating about how books are doing. So you might also be wondering, what does a typical day or week look like in the life of your publicist? And here are some of the main tasks we concentrate on. So again, we're reading the news to just stay familiar with what's going on in the news cycle so that we can pitch you more effectively. We're staying on top of current conversations to make sure we're in the know for when your topic is trending, how you might be offered as an expert voice on an important issue of the day. We email a ton. Some of this used to be done via phone. Now it's really almost all on email. So we're constantly on email with frontlist authors, backlist authors, media, events contacts, freelance publicists, sales reps, warehouses, our colleagues, authors, just everyone you can think of, we're on email a lot. One cool thing I didn't know when I started as a publicist is you write a lot as a publicist. It's really a creative job. So as writers yourselves, you might be interested that we're also writing a lot. We're always crafting new pitches with new angles, and that's something we work on together with authors, like how can we get this in front of this audience in a new and creative way? How do we get this in front of a journalist who only has a few seconds to make a decision if they might want to cover this topic or not? So we really try to synthesize points quickly, and we work with authors together on those types of ideas. We also typically visit with media in person. So in pre-COVID days, we'd travel both regionally and to New York and DC to call on national media, including big outlets like the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, NPR, and we're hoping those meetings will come back soon. And we love hearing back from media. So we're hoping our inboxes will also be full, as well as sending out a lot of emails. Often if the answer is no to a pitch, we don't hear anything at all. So we're a bit of experts in the field of rejection, but it makes the yeses that we get all the more sweet. More on our day-to-day, we're alerting and amplifying. We're sending coverage to you as authors, again, to our marketing team in-house, to the editors who've acquired your projects. We pull review quotes for the web and social media to help amplify the book out into the world. We research, update, and repeat. We're monitoring social media and alerts for trending hashtags, news items, and conversations. We're constantly updating our media database just due to the ever-changing media landscape to make sure we're up on who's covering what. So after all that, you might be wondering, how should scholarly authors be approaching book publicity? What can you do to help promote your book? And just to reiterate, the author platform is truly a key part of success. So here, again, is just what you can do to work on in advance of your book coming out, and also when your book is out too. Social media is important. If you're not comfortable on it, then you can work with our team to kind of get a little bit more comfortable on it. There are basic things you can do that are fairly easy. That's a good place to start. Building media contacts, see who's covering topics that you're writing about, start to interact with them either via social media or otherwise. Think strategically about your own network and how your contacts can help promote your book. You can look to set up academic book talks, which we can help amplify. And if you want to reach outside the academy or writing on a topic that's relevant to current events, you can work with us on pitching op-eds. The Conversation's one place, for instance, we recommend. There are other outlets for sure. So just look to the news and see who's writing about your topic. And then that's a good place to start to look at writing op-eds. A funny side note, although I have my master's in English, it's probably not a surprise that several of my colleagues also have degrees in psychology, because the publicity process can be emotional and fraught for both us as publicists and you as authors. But as publicists, we understand the stakes are very high when your book comes out in the world, and we will always do our very best to make sure your work gets the best attention possible, because we understand how important it is. So I will end by saying thank you for your time, and we very much look forward to working with you at UC Press.